Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how I decorated this semi-naked berry and whipped cream cake for my dad's birthday. To begin, I've taken out my KitchenAid mixer bowl and whisk attachment from my freezer so they are really nice and cold. I'm adding in a pint of heavy whipping cream, which is 2 cups. And then I'm going to add half of this package of vanilla instant pudding mix. You can use whatever pudding mix that you like. Just make sure that you're okay with the color, that it will turn your whipped cream. The package that I'm using is 3.4 ounces. So I'm only using about half of that. And now I'm going to whip my cream, but I'm only going to whip it on half speed. This is so that I can keep a really close eye on my whipped cream and make sure that it doesn't over whip. Here on my turntable, I'm taking a piece of wax paper and I'm going to go ahead and release all of my cakes from their pans. I baked 3 6-inch cakes. This is the best vanilla cake recipe by Preppy Kitchen. I highly suggest it. It is so delicious and fabulous. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to flavor my whipped cream further. I'm adding a couple of drops of butter flavor and a little bit of imitation almond extract. I use imitation almond extract on purpose because I like to flavor all of my frostings and buttercreams with this almond. And this way I can assure anybody that all of my frostings are always nut free unless they're specifically asked to be a nut flavor. So I'm taking my whipped cream. As you can see, it's beautifully whipped, not over whipped, and it's a great consistency. I am spreading this on, and at this point I noticed my offset spatula was too large, so I am going to switch to a smaller one here. This is a 6-inch cake, so that's why I needed the smaller one. And now I'm adding strawberries. These are fresh chopped strawberries. And I'm adding in a couple of blueberries here and there throughout. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to top this with even more whipped cream. And then using my offset spatula, I'm going to flatten and even this out. What this is doing is filling in the space between all of the fruits. And it's going to help keep the fruits in place and make it stable when we continue to stack our cakes. So I'm doing the same thing on this next layer. I'm going to do whipped cream, then my strawberries and blueberries, then finishing off with another layer of whipped cream, and then putting on my final layer of cake. Okay, so now I've put on my final layer of cake. I'm going to put a nice big dollop of whipped cream at the top, and using my small offset spatula, I'm going to go ahead and smooth the top and work some of that whipped cream down to the sides. Now using my offset, I'm going to go ahead and put whipped cream all around the outside of the cake. I apologize, I totally forgot to move the camera to get a better angle of me doing the sides, but I'm just putting a light coat as opposed to what I might do if I were not doing this semi-naked style. I'd probably put a thick coat, but this is just a regular naked, semi-naked cake, so it just takes a little bit less icing, and I'm going to be scraping majority of it off with my large scraper. Mine is from Wilton, but any scraper will work. I've actually seen a great scraper that works at the Dollar Tree. It's metal, and so I highly suggest getting one. Now I'm using my offset spatula to bring in the sides of the cake and smooth out the top. I'm not being too picky about how smooth the top looks because we're about to cover this cake. The whole top will get covered. So I'm scraping out all the rest of my whipped cream, and as you can see, this makes the perfect amount of whipped cream. Just a little bit left over at the end. And I'm using a Wilton 1M tip and just making a star border all around the outside of this cake. All I've done now is just rim the inside of the circle with some remaining blueberries that I had. And then now I'm going to put in the remaining chopped strawberries that I have. Now I'm going to take some apple jelly and melt that in the microwave for just a little bit. Once it's out of the microwave, I've added a spoonful of the cold jelly to kind of cool it down a little bit. And I'm using a spoon to go ahead and spoon that over the berries. What it's going to do is give it a beautiful shine that you would find at a professional bakery. And two, it's going to essentially encase all the berries, keeping them very fresh tasting and not letting them get stale. It'll also add a delicious apple flavor to the cake. And that's it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and please consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.